Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today I will present to you. Hang on, I'm going to share my slides here. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today I'm going to present to you part of a research funded by the Ministry of Higher Education, FRGS grant, and the leader of this research is Professor Ting Soo Hee. This is her name here. And my name is Sharifah Sophia, and we also have Nazrin Zulaika as one of the co-researchers in this research. So the principal investigator is Professor Ting Soo Hee from the Faculty of Language and Communication in UNIMAS, and myself from Faculty of Social Sciences. So this is the background of our research. So we are wanting to know about how does the social media users today in Malaysia today view ethnicity. And this idea is important because the rubric of Malaysian nation is founded on the idea that there is such a thing as a common identities and common values and common identities, national identity as Malaysians, and therefore factors such as ethnic and religion are considered as contributing to the idea of this nation of Malaysia, Bangsa Malaysia. So, and this is something that we also learned from Benedict Anderson, his concept of imagined communities, in which he looks at, he argues that the imagination of being a member of a political community contributing very much to the way that individual or citizen relate to each other as Malaysians, and also it reinforce the notion of nationhood in a particular nation state. So these are our research questions. What are the sentiment of social media users towards ethnicity and religion in Malaysia? That's the first one. And the other, what do the sentiment tell us about the state of national identity in Malaysia? Our methods, we observe social media data, the postings from Twitter, right? From Twitter on ethnic relation collected from 1st of January to 31st of August 2023, and the search words for these tweets were ethnic and rights. So from these keywords, ethnic and rights, we gathered 126 postings from that platform, and then we made observation about them in relation to our research question, which is how do people understood ethnicity today? The social media users, the Malaysian social media users understood ethnicity today, and their the relationship between their understanding with the political discourse which is currently taking place in Malaysia. So our findings. So based on our observations, we come up with 3 themes. This is the first theme, the coupling of race and religious rhetoric. We discover that when people talk about ethnicity or race, they usually do so in a way which also bring religion together into the discourse. And this is something which is expected because that is how race and religion is played up in Malaysia, in which it is viewed to be indivisible, race and religion to be indivisible. But of course, at the same time, the ideal of Malaysian nation is that there is a inclusiveness, the unity within the diversity. So the diversity of race and religion ideally are seen to be the strength of Malaysian nation. Ideally, I'm saying. So, however, the social media users, which reflecting the reality, how this notion of ideals are played up in the social media, apparently these those who posted this posted their comments in Twitter, viewed that reality-wise, those ideal did not happen. Did not happen because what they are seeing is that these politicians and political parties tend to play up on this race and religion issue. Instead of celebrating the diversity, there was an impression among the users that this diversity are not being taken seriously, or rather seen as divisive even, in that case. So these are some of the examples of the postings. It says there, professional Malaysians are also committed to an ideology focused on race and religion, and therefore they are looking at this as something which not coherent with the notion of Bangsa Malaysia or the idea of Bangsa Malaysia. And next, no one talks about race and religion more than a certain political parties. The second theme is the separatist effect of race and religion. So race and religion rhetoric are seen to are perceived to have a separatist effect on the idealization of the identity of Malaysian, the Bangsa Malaysia. So, for example, one of the commentator wrote, "People need to realize our differences are Malaysia's biggest assets." That is the ideal. But what the reality is that people did not see that differences are being taken seriously or being celebrated seriously enough because of the politicization of race and religion in that case. The third theme is on the discrepancy between sociological reality and political discourse. While the reality on the ground, as people observe, there are many races, there are many religions coexisting in a relative harmonious state. However, the political ideologies seem to play or seem to hype up the idea of a race and religion, a dominance of a single race and religion as the main, or rather as a mainstream in the political ideology, which what our commentators, our Twitter posters viewed as not coherent with the reality which exists in Malaysia. So they are looking that they are like a two-dimensional views which do not meet each other. On the one hand, the sociological reality tells us there are, coexistence of different races and religions who lived in relatively harmonious nature, but on existence. But on the other hand, politically, there was like a overhype the division between race and religion. So how come this happened? So that's something that they feel to be something that they feel worthy of criticism. Okay, conclusion. So the findings demonstrated a sentiment known as anti-politics. So this is something which is global, and this is something that we are looking that is happening in Malaysia today, this anti-political sentiment. But anti-political sentiment, we have to be clear that they actually is a critique of political establishment, whom they view to be not acting in the best interests of Malaysian nation. Now, this is because the political discourse in Malaysia are very much influenced, in their view, very much influenced on race and religion. And we have seen the evidence enough to conclude that is happening. So because of that, their view, if political establishment are not able to sustain the normative of multi-religious and multi-communal and multicultural, so why are we, why do we have to support, or not that we have to support, but why do we have to be part of that system in that sense? So this is actually a normative critique against the politicization of race and religion, what we observe from the social media. So um, so that's what we can conclude from the observation of the 126 postings from the Twitter that we gathered from the 1st of January to 31st of August 2023. So our research is funded by the Ministry of Higher Education, Fundamental Research Grant Scheme, as stated here. So that's it from me and my team today, Professor Ting Suhi and Nazrin Zulaika and myself, Sharifah Sophia. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.